Hello YouTube, this is an alcohol review of Canadian 298 Vanilla. Dun, dun, dun. According to the label, this is 750ml bottle. 70 proof, 35% alcohol by volume. This is Canadian whiskey and vanilla liqueur blended together. According to the back, Canadian 298 is a blend of the finest Canadian whiskey, filtered to perfection. You taste a complete body of whiskey that is smooth and beyond expectations. Notes of vanilla with hints of smoke that leave you truly satisfied. That explains a lot. Crafted and bottled in Texas by Canada 298. How does that work? Alrighty. Some Texas Canadians. We shall see what we see. Cork is plastic. The plastic top to it, which means not exactly a whole lot of quality was put into packaging. Alrighty. I know this is all off camera, but gotta make sure the animals don't get into it. There are a lot of critters around here. And there we go. It is a very much so yellow with slight caramel hues, ever so slight hues. Swirl going. It is slow to tear. Very, very, very slow to tear. Now, for those who are wondering about that, when you see some people do this, it's multi-fold. If you notice, the glass gets wide and narrow, it funnels. This is called a Glencairn glass, and the idea is that it takes maximum air surface, which is at the widest part of its pretty little belly, funnels it together so you get much more condensed smell in the nose. Remember, 75% of what you taste is from, well, through the nose. So this helps with that. To swirl it around, takes a solution, i.e. our whiskey here, and puts it up the side of the glass, and that gives it more surface to air. So as it dries, it gives off more scent that goes with what's already in the glass itself, because believe it or not, the glass is full just right at that line. And it's all for the same reason, get as much scent to the nose. That's the one reason for the swirl that you always see people, well, you see some people do. The other reason for the swirl is to notice the tearing. Now, when you do this, it doesn't matter what the glass is, but when you do this, you will notice you get a line around, which is the top part of wherever you were swirling it to. And you look at that, and you will see it start to get crevices and cracks running down. That is known as tearing, also known as legs. Why is it called legs? Lonely men drinking. Women's legs aren't straight. They got a nice curve to them. Curve on the lines coming through. Lonely men drinking. Curves. There. All right. Need I say more? Tears, because it looks like the wiggle of coming down as you cry. Again, lonely men drinking. Need I say more? The reason this should take your interest, besides the fact that they're lonely and they got a drinking problem, is that you'll notice that in certain bourbons and whiskeys and other spirits, it will run down quickly, or it may run down moderate, or it may run down really slow. In this case, really slow. That is the viscous of the solution, i.e. how thick it is. Why is it thick? When you start off to make any kind of spirit, even if it's a wine or a beer, it needs a sugar involved for the yeast to get into and start chomping on to help make alcohol. From there, wine, beers go one direction, spirits go into a different direction when it comes to their distilling. But it starts out with sugar. Now, the sugar that's left in solution, known as residual sugars, the more there is, the thicker the solution. The thicker the solution, swirling it, the slower it is to tear, the slower it is for the legs to form, because it's a thicker solution. This means, but not always the case, life guys, not always the case, mileage may vary, come on now, is that the thicker that is, the more residual sugar is in solution, the sweeter it will have somewhere on your palate. Maybe in the back, maybe in the front, somewhere there's a sweetness to it. Also, the fact that it's slow to come down because of the sugar means it's thicker on the palate. So it's going to have a, I don't want to call it syrup, but heavier than water that you will notice on the palate. So by doing a little swirl here, we can tell slow to tear. That means it's going to be a little syrupy and should be a little on the sweet side. As I said before, not always the case. There are variants, blah, blah, blah. But as a generic rule, that's what you get. So, swirl, 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 swirl. Stop, look, slow, sniff. There's a strong ethanol, alcohol-y to it. A thick vanilla-y to it, like a vanilla syrup. And back with the ethanol-y to it. So I fear there's not a whole lot to expect by the nose and by the eye. But like I said, sometimes you get a surprise and it's great on the palate. It is thick. It is syrupy. It burns towards the back end. Long hang time. Bittery towards the back of the palate. And the police are coming by. If you don't hear the sirens, you'll be hearing it soon. Good times, good times. Before I lose the light, oh, they caught him. All right, good boys, get them. Yeah, it's a heavy on the palate. It's syrupy vanilla, shades of bitterness. Not much more to say past that. I tried this in a cocktail or two. It fought with the cocktail left and right. Wanted to stand up by itself. I've had this straight on ice, and neither one would tame it. Its negative qualities just stand tall and stand proud. Now, I'm hoping other cocktails they'll be trying to blend this in with will remedy that. But currently, my short list has fallen on its sword and trying to tame this beast. This is definitely not a summer. It's obviously a dessert bourbon. I say it's not a summer because it's way too heavy on the palate. If you do like it, and there's a good chance you can. I mean, just because I don't care for it does not mean other than some dude in the middle of nowhere just doesn't have a taste for it. Try it. By goodness sake, always try it. You never know. This might be a favorite. But for me, it's just not quite cutting it. Nor are the sirens cutting it on my nerves. Oh, good. Horns. Even better. All right. Let's end this quick. Jeez. Try it. See what you guys think. For me, it's a little thick. Like I said, summertime, way too much. This is definitely a winter if this strikes you well. I love vanilla. I'm shocked that I am not a fan of this. But like I said, winter, it should go well if this is your thing. So I like strong flavors. I don't know what it is that offends me about this drink. There's nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't strike my palate well. You guys try. See what you guys think. There's got to be some redeeming value that my peasant tastes aren't covering very well. My uncouthness is clearly overseen. But try it. See what you guys think. Any comments about this particular product down below be warmly accepted as always. Or better yet, go out, try it, buy it, and review it on the YouTube Spirits community so we can hear your thoughts. And hopefully somebody will give it a better grade than me. So like I said, I hate thinking people work hard trying to get this stuff done and done right. And I'm sure there's a group of people going, we love it. And I'm just the cat standing outside going, I don't know. But yeah, you guys try it. See what you guys think. Hopefully somebody is much more couth than I and will give it a shining review. But until then, until next time, keep on drinking.